Started looking at launching attack, and we summarize our objective on this section. That we'll be looking at phases of an attack, analyzing, gather the information. No. Analyzing phases of that is analyzing gathered information, searching for and understanding exploits, launching the exploits, creating custom malware, avoiding antivirus detection, brute force attack, ARP spoofing, and social engineering. So these are the topics that I told us we are expected to hover through in this section. But before then, I explained to us that the entire essence of the reconnaissance is for us to be able to learn the ways of the black hat hackers before, how they gather information from different sources before launching what? Attack. So we also established that reconnaissance is a must activity in ethical hacking. So there is no successful ethical hacker that can successfully hack without gathering information from the source. They want to hack either what? Passive or what? Active. So having completed that aspect, now we are on the aspect of we want to launch, or we want to practice the way the black hat hackers launches attack after gathering information about the domain. So we talk about we started looking at phases of an attack. You can still remember where I highlighted that we have about 5 phases: the reconnaissance, the scanning, gaining access, maintaining access, covering what tracks. And then we started looking at the phases one after the other. So what I did was to brief us again, because ordinarily I was supposed to skip some of them. So we also look at the second phase, we look at the third phase, we look at the fourth phase, and then we'll also look at the fifth phase. And then we started talking about what? Social engineering, right? Which we describe as the art of luring you into, or somebody advertising what could look beneficiary to you, but the background, their motive is to steal certain information that could be used to launch what? An attack from you. And I gave several advices as regard to how we need to be careful when they send us what? Links. Now that we understand that the social engineers, they use this as one of their common ways of extracting information from us. So we broke it down into 3 aspects, where we started looking at the commonly used social engineering method, which is classified under what? Phishing. Attack are the most common type of attack, and then we also look at Word 3 hole. I explained all this, and then we'll also talk about analyzing what? Gathered information. So this is where I told us that when we were performing reconnaissance, we discovered that we are actually getting so many words information. At some points, we don't even know what some of them are represented. So I said you are not expected to actually tick everything that you get. It's just like somebody sending people to a particular area to go and spy before they launch the attack. In the process of those people studying the area, you will agree with me that they will see so many things, right? They will see so many buildings, they will see so many human beings, they will see so many obstacles. But you know that at the end of the day, they will narrow their priority to the one that will hinder them, right? So that is exactly what we were doing when we were running those scripts for gathering information from different sources. We are actually getting almost everything, but we are expected to analyze and know what matters, what could help you to successfully launch the attack. I hope you are with me. Some people are busy. Now, we said that out of the information you are going to get, one of them that is very paramount is what? The IP address. Because once an attacker grabs the IP address of the domain, it's a plus, because the IP address establishes communication, right? So it means that they can communicate with that device. So I cited so many instances where these social engineers can lure you into their trap, and they end up getting important information from your system. So we started looking at some to check for what open ports. So we understood that ports are one of the major facilitator of communication between what systems. Because even if your IP address is active, we were taught that information are transported, right, on the network or within the internet through what? Ports. And that is why I told us then that we need to understand particularly the commonly used word port for transferring what? Information. So the hackers, what they do is that they identify the ports that transport what exactly they are looking for. Are you with me? They take their time to identify the ports that are carrying the data they want to steal. If you remember, when we were on ports under networking fundamental, right? Under networking fundamental, we identify some ports which are used for regular data transmission within the internet. Port like 21, who can remind us what's the kind of data or what did they normally use the port 21 to transmit within the internet? Can anybody still remember? Port 21. Port 21 is for FTP, for email, right? Then we also talk about port 53 / port 446. Who can tell us what these ports are used for on the internet? For web, right? One is for website with security, while the other one is for website without what? Security. So, and I advise us then that we should go and study more of those ports. And we did mention that how many ports do we have in all? We have 65,535. And I said, out of all it is impossible for you to cram all of them, but you are expected to know the common one you need to execute your hacking operation. We also talk about the telnet, right? How did I describe telnet? He said that telnet is what? Network protocol used to remotely what? Access and manage what? Devices over what? A network using what? Command line interface. So we talk about all this. I just want to make sure that I glanced through everything we did before we move further. So taking advantage of telnet, I think we have discussed that, right? How do you take advantage of the telnet to capture what? Information. That was what led to what? The wire what? Shark, right? The wire shark that I said this will display capture from what? ETHO, virtual bus what? Domain. And then please just let me know once I get to. I think we have discussed all this. What about searching for and understanding exploits? Have we covered this? Check your notes. Have we covered it? Searching for and understanding exploits. Check your notes. I just want to know where to start from. Yes. Mm-hmm. We have not, right? So probably we stop at what? Wireshark. So let's start from here. Searching for and understanding exploit. Now let's start this way. What is an exploit? So that we know why this topic is coming in. What is an exploit? I've defined it before in the class. The what? Is that an exploit? You reverse it. What you did that you twisted it. Which is the Igbo language, have it? Let's know that. Verify the language, let's know.
I'll say it's taking advantage of the people.
That is the same definition with our own. You also turned it the other way around. Can somebody give us more precise definition? People have already started searching on Google. An exploit itself is a piece of software which is used to take advantage. A software which is used to take advantage of loopholes. Somebody can send it into your system and use it to what? To take advantage of, probably if your security features are not well set, somebody can send an exploit. So it's a software. Like all this malware, they are exploits because when they get to your system, they can be used what? To take advantage of the vulnerabilities. So when we say searching for and understanding exploits, because we are going to use one here to break into metasploitable system or OWASP. So we need to know, okay, where are these exploits? So the next step in launching an attack is to find what? An exploit to use for the attack. So what these boys and these girls, so that they don't look at it, only the boys. What these boys and the girls, the black hat hacker does is that they search for the exploits. The exploits, they are like the scripts now, the software. So you must, since you are mimicking their way, since you are being trained so that company can use you to understand the way the bad boy operates, so that the company can outsmart them, we need to also know how they search for their exploits. So the exploit in this case now becomes their what? Their main tools. Hope you know that. So typically, you will be using what? Public what? Exploit to compromise target system. And you will not be creating your own. Creating exploit is an advanced what? Level skill and not in the scope of this course. I hope that is clear. We are going to be using the ones that are in the public domain. Not that, but there are some core bad guys that knows how to create their own exploits, because they will now be able to customize it and assign a role that once you get to a system, I want this, I want that, I want this. Are you getting me?
Right, that's the software, right?
Yes. So they will create. What I'm trying to say is that this training does not cover teaching you how to create those exploits. We are only taking advantage of the public, the exploits that are available. Are you with me? But what I'm saying is that these bad guys can go to the extent of creating their own so that they can customize it just for you to know how desperate they could be. Now, you can search for exploits in a variety of ways, all of which we will be going over. So what we want to learn how do we search for this exploit? Remember that the exploits are the piece of software which are used to take advantage of what? Loopholes or system. Are we done writing? Okay, so let me just wait. So, so now, the first exploit, or where, remember that the previous topic says what? Searching and understanding what? Exploits. So, and I also said that we are not creating new words, exploits. Instead, we are searching the exploits that are within the public world space. So where and where can we find exploits that are within the public place? One of them is what? Exploits data what? Base. So there exists a website called exploit what? DB, where thousands of public exploits are published. So as a practicing or practicing what? Ethical hacker, in case you want to find pieces of softwares that can be used to take advantage of another domain, this is one of the recommended platform. So thousands of public exploits are published and available for what? Download. So we are going to download it, and then we will use it to what? To launch the attack and see whether we are able to what? To break through into the system. You can visit this website and search for /download exploit extremely easily with the provided search functions. So you can search for things like Windows 7 or Firefox to find exploits that are related to those search terms. So what is the URL? The URL is this. So let's copy it and then we will go through it. We are So what is the website? Is HTTP. So let's say exploits/db.com. So for us to do that, we have to go to our Kali and run Kali browser, any of the browser, and then search for that. All right, so you click here to exploit Kali browser, or even if you click here, you'll be able to see the list of apps. So let's go with this.
Wow.
Right. Exploits. Okay, so these are the exploits that I talk about that we can search, find, and download. So let me go back to the slide so that we can all follow it. So as you can see, this is the kind of, hello, let's concentrate. So this is the interface. So from here, let me see if I can be sure that we can see. You can see how I am downloading this particular one. So you choose all those items are list of what domains where you can download the exploits. So let's go there and let's say we want to, which one did I click on there now? Is it here? 20. Okay, so these are actually list of, so what the bad guy does is that they know the domain where they want to find what they want. So they will just study the platform. So here you can see Windows, you can see type, remote, local, web app, remote. So these are the list of different type of the exploits. Well, these are showing only the what? The first 15. So you can search for more through this. So let's assume that we want to, let me see if I have exactly the one which is remote units. Okay, Metasploit. So look for the one with Metasploit. We have it here.
Well, search on the chat bar.
Well, let me, when you search, were you able to get it? Metasploit. Where is it? Yeah, good. I think it has filter based on what I just searched. That means it was there before now. Damn, it was there. I just want to go with the one that I've confirmed so that we won't start Metasploit under okay, let me try type. Okay, I think it came out now. Let me show the first 30. So just click on, let's work with the same one. So once you select it, you will now click on the download. I click on the one with Linus with Meta, that's the platform is Linus. And I think the description was Metasploit. Yes. So let me click. So download it. So now you take the name of the file. The name of the file is what? 493. Take note of that. .rob as the extension. Anyone you have downloaded, take note of the file because it has been downloaded and saved. So we need to access that file. That is where you will get the exploits from. Have done that for the step. So this is the display of what we just did now. So I was actually looking for, so nobody was able to find under, okay, search for Chrome. I think it's Chrome that I searched for, that somebody should search for Chrome as a platform and then see if you are going to see this Metasploit. I just want to go with the one I've confirmed. Now I see if all those one cannot work so that. So in that search bar, just search for Chrome. Let me also search and see if we can have the same thing. So you can see all these code now. These are the code that have been created. All this code you are seeing. So which you are supposed to write, like I said, if you are learning how to create exploits. But we are leveraging on the ones that have been created and published on the internet. So if I come back now, let me search for Chrome. Yes, let's search for this particular one. Let me see if I'm going to get Metasploit. Exactly. It's there, right? Which number? Let me remove this. Who has found it? This one. Good, yeah. So click on that one. So under it, these are the ones, yeah, the one with Metasploit under auto. Yeah, look at it here. This one. The name there is Metasploit, and then the platform is multiple. The type is so download it and also copy the URL in case anyone that we want to work with. All right, so so that is how to search and download what? Exploits first. Now the next thing is let's go back to the slide. We are taking the step one after the other. Now copy the exploits from what? The search logs. Copy the exploits from the search exploits. So the list of exploits returned from the search exploits will have names, a file paths, like that one you wrote down the other time, and a file name associated with them. The file name are always going to be a number. You saw the one we copied now was number, right? So that is what I'm trying to explain here. Yeah? You are able to do it now. Number followed by a file extension. From what you wrote down, what is the file extension? ROB, right? Like my own here, the two of them that I downloaded, one was 49318.ROB. That is the extension, so you need to take note of that. Now, if you see an exploit that you want to check out like this one is what? A Python file. That one that I have with that ROB9 is a particular format, maybe a different language. For example, use the following command to search what? So now we are going to copy it into what? Current directory using this command, search exploits hyphen what? M, and then followed by that name. So in this case now, you want to copy it into the directory where you are working so that it can now be listed there. So now, no, leave the other one. I just want, okay, you are still writing. Okay, oh, yeah, go ahead. Let me wait. Take note of the what? The parts. Okay, so now the next step is so let's quickly use the what? The search plots now. So we are going to run this particular code. We are going to run this particular code, but just understand what it does. The search exploits is a command used with the search what? Exploits to search for known exploits related to what? This very secure what? FTP daemon. The popular FTP server for Unix what? System. So if you run this now on your machine, you are going to get what? This kind of interface. So let's copy and run. You said what? Do you have different information from what I'm having here? Okay, share. Okay, no results. Okay. Let's that is not our major target. Even the one I confirmed here, you can still see the what? The no results here. So now that particular file name that you capture, you remember it, Abi? That one that I have with number. So that is what we are going to run now. So you just replace this. Replace this with the name of your own file. Where's my own soul? With copyright, I want to switch also perform. Okay, so search. Search. Exploit. -m space the file name, which is my own is 49318.rb. Right? So I got a verification here that the file exists, which means that you successfully what? Downloaded it. It's within your Kali. Are we all here now? Is this what you get? But you should get something different based on the one you downloaded. So you have something that gives you breakdown like this. As you can see here, exploit, web what, main, and then package update, then URL. So you can copy this URL to a browser and run it. So that one will take you to the documentation where those functions. I think we saw it that time now. The functions, good. So which ordinarily, if we are to learn, or let's as we are learning how to create the exploits, you are supposed to write those exploits. So that is the business of some bad guys. Their work is just to write what? Exploit. These are the tools that when they finish writing, you are paying heavily to collect. The fellow bad guy will meet another bad guy. Which tool do you have? So they know how they are getting all this. So once they give you the tool, now just for you to use it to launch attack. So you are no longer concentrating on writing it. But with the white hat hacker, we are not supposed to even go to that extent of writing malicious software to steal people's information. But because we are just mimicking their ways, that is why we are allowed to go through this. We are leveraging on the public, the one that are globally acceptable. And even this that we are doing, we are practicing this within a confined safe environment. So we are not really outside VirtualBox. Whatever we are doing here, we are limited. So now let's continue. So the next thing is that this is the result now. You know better, you write these things. This picture you have now, very soon your phone will be filled up, you delete some images. You forget when you delete all these things. Just write the syntax like this. Okay, so okay, I think we've all run this code, right? And we'll go to this report. Now let's go to the next phase of it. Now to check if it has been added to your directory, because what you did now is what is to copy that file that you downloaded to your directory, right? And you still remember how we normally check directory now, ls, right? So you now check whether you see the name of that file when you run ls. That is how you check. So you will now see the name of the file. So if you have copied, let me also check mine to see if I have to direct. So ls, what is the name of my own? Good, this is it here. So you can see that with this we have confirmed that it has been added to our directory. Now let's continue. Let's look at the next thing is now we are done with what? We just completed one step. What is the step? Remember where we started from? Searching for and what? Understanding. Now we have already searched, we found, and we downloaded. It's now in our directory. Now we want to open it and understand what the code inside it. So that will take me to another set of slides entirely. understanding the exploits. Understanding the exploits. Now that you have your exploits, you want to make sure that you understand what it is doing and that it is set up correctly. So this is not only to ensure that it will work, but to also ensure that you will not cause any harm or damage to the system that you will be attacking. There have been many cases when exploits contain malicious code that will either affect or destroy computer that they were launched against. So we need to be aware. That's the reason why there's need for you to understand it, so that you don't, not every exploit you download, you launch, because you can never tell if it's going to work against you. Whether it's an exploit that is even used to destroy the hacker, you don't, and you now you want to hack. So by the time you run it now, you'll be the receiving end. So that is why once you search, you download, you add to your directory, you need to examine it.
So dissecting the exploits, to better understand exploits, you will need to open them up in a text editor. Remember that we have talked about editor, right? GI, right? Yes. So you have to open those codes. That is the best way you can understand the exploits. So you may need to edit the shell code, for example, for it to work properly. You may also need to understand what kind of arguments it will need to work properly. All right. So now to open the previous saved search exploits file, so we are going to run this code. I want to believe that when we were still under Linus Basic, hope you can still remember, you can see how we are applying those things we are learning. Cat was like what was one of the code for opening file.
Oh, it's not. Okay, so I believe that's all right. All right, so let's go and implement it. Another 20 seconds. All right, so let's run the code cards. Now that we have confirmed that it exists in the directory. Yes. Or I go run VI.
Yes. For
You run VI instead of cards, have you?
the previous one.
Where did you run VI? Is there any place where we have run VI? So let me check because I'm getting did I make mistake? Say what? No such directory. Cards. Okay, yeah, I made mistake. 49318 dot ROB.
Hello.
Okay, so you can see the code. So these are the code. So this is the exploit. So for those of you that want to go and learn how to create exploits, this is the kind of code you learn how to write.
You just be writing out this code, so you don't need to go and download the game, but just write and save them. So you can see the code. Yes. No, small letter, please. No. The slides. This is where we are coming from, right? Dissecting the exploit. I said to better understand the exploits, you will need to what? Open them up in a text editor. And then we use that, we use this code now. And this I put it in what? Text editor. So we can as well use what? VI, then that file name. If you see, open it, provided the text editor. Now once you get here now, you have to now study, understand. These are the parts. Yes, this one is for cats. It's cat that generated this one. So this is Python code. This is a function. Check. If you have done Python, you know that what? If you want to create function in Python, it has what? Definition. DEF. Then this is cookie, login, return, check code. So if you have done Python and you want to, you can go through it. But remember that we are just mimicking the ways of what? the bad guys. My own is that we are just exposing. That's my own assignment, to expose. No, we have not launched attack. This one now, this one is, we have gotten an exploit that we want to use to launch the attack. So, like as I mentioned in the slide, in the course of studying it and your research, if there's anything you need to change, you can edit and then save if you know how to use the editor you use in opening it. So let's quickly conclude. Let's conclude. Now, look at it now. Now you want to launching the exploit now. Now, it's assumed that you have searched for the exploit, you have opened it, you understand it. Now you want to launch it. You want to send it an errand to go and do the work you want to do for you. So this is how the bad guys operate, if you like. So once we determine how our exploits work, now that you have opened it, and that they are not malicious. As you open it now, you were able to study the code and see that this thing is not malicious, code. We can finally launch our attack. You typically will do this by executing the exploit file from the command line using the appropriate argument, kind of summarizing the steps we are expected to go to. When you launch the exploits, it will most likely print out text on the screen with updates on the status of the exploit. If all goes well, your exploits will be successful and you will have a share, command line on your host. So you find yourself inside the system, or you have information that you want collected.
So go through everything again, search for another exploit, save it, download it, and then open it. We'll continue from there in our next.